Episode number 236. Yes, I gave up hoping then, but I didn't like to own it. I tried to think it was a sick fancy, and would not let it trouble anyone. But when I saw you all so well, and strong and full of happy plans, it was hard to feel that I could never be like you, and then I was miserable, Joe. Oh, Beth, and you didn't tell me, didn't let me comfort and help you. How could you shut me out, bear it all alone? Joe's voice was full of tender reproach, and her heart ached to think of the solitary struggle that must have gone on while Beth learned to say goodbye to health, love, and life, and take up her cross so cheerfully. Perhaps it was wrong, but I tried to do right. I wasn't sure, no one said anything, and I hoped I was mistaken. It would have been selfish to frighten you all when Mommy was so anxious about Meg, and Amy away, and you so happy with Laurie, at least I thought so then. And I thought you loved him, Beth, and I went away, because I couldn't, cried Joe, glad to say all the truth. Beth looked so amazed at the idea that Joe smiled in spite of her pain, and added softly, "Then you didn't, dearie. I was afraid it was so, and imagined your poor little heart full of love lornly all that while." "Why, Joe, how could I, when he was so fond of you?" asked Beth, as innocently as a child. "I do love him dearly. He is so good to me, how can I help it? But he could never be anything to me, but my brother. I hope he truly will be, sometime." "Not through me," said Joe decidedly. "Amy is left for him, and they would suit excellently, but I have no heart for such things, now. I don't care what becomes of anybody, but you, Beth. You must get well." "I want to, oh, so much. I try, but every day I lose a little, and feel more sure that I shall never gain it back. It's like the tide, Joe, when it turns, it goes slowly, but it can't be stopped." "It shall be stopped. Your tide must not turn so soon. 19 is too young, Beth. I can't let you go. I'll work and pray and fight against it. I'll keep you in spite of everything. There must be ways, it can't be too late. God won't be so cruel as to take you from me," cried poor Joe rebelliously, for her spirit was far less piously submissive than Beth's. Simple, sincere people seldom speak much of their piety. It shows itself in acts rather than in words, and has more influence than homilies or protestations. Beth could not reason upon or explain the faith that gave her courage and patience to give up life, and cheerfully wait for death. Like a confiding child, she asked no questions, but left everything to God and nature, father and mother of us all, feeling sure that they, and they only, could teach and strengthen heart and spirit for this life and the life to come. She did not rebuke Joe with saintly speeches, only loved her better for her passionate affection, and clung more closely to the dear human love, from which our Father never means us to be weaned, but through which he draws us closer to himself. She could not say, "I'm glad to go," for life was very sweet for her. She could only sob out, "I tried to be willing," while she held fast to Joe, as the first bitter wave of this great sorrow broke over them together.